What is going on, everyone? I am Josh with 625 Media, and it is Vlog Sunday. We're gonna talk lessons and how my new approach is affecting the way I view and I see and I feel about what we're doing. From the attic. And of course, welcome to this wonderful mid-October Sunday. It's already mid-October. My brain is not caught up with the passage of time yet. We're starting to get questions here at the house about, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Like, wait, what? Thanksgiving? We're only 2 weeks from Halloween. But yes, it's that time of year again. The leaves are falling. The weather is cooling. And I'm not ready for it. I'm just not ready for it. Skeleton Jockey says hello. Real quick before we get into the meat, I don't know if you guys saw on social media a few days ago, but I had a not so fun visit to the dentist on Friday. Yes, I had a couple teeth pulled, my wisdom teeth in the top. They pulled both of them, and usually when you hear about people getting their wisdom teeth pulled, you're like, oh, they're going to knock you out, and I'm going to come out of sedation and say some crazy stuff. People got to drive me home. So I went in to have it checked out because the one on the top left was incredibly infected. I was on antibiotics and ibuprofen, and it wasn't doing anything. So I went in, they checked it out, and they pulled me aside and said, okay, so we can take both of them on the top, because the other one really needed to go too. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, do I need to make any arrangements? And they were like, no, you'll be awake. It's like, wait, what? So apparently, at least according to this dentist, apparently they only put you to sleep if they're impacted and they need to really cut in there and root around. And they didn't have to do any of that. So they just pulled it like normal. And I was in, and within an hour and a half, I was back home. Although that first day was pretty painful about 3 o'clock in the afternoon after all the numbing agent wore off. But doing good. The only fear I have now is dry socket. So yeah, we'll see. But so far so good. To this week, it was a bit of a light week for me because of all of that. I basically missed the working time I would have had Thursday. I wasn't able to really do anything on Friday. But yesterday, I did get up and do some editing, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I'm not going to talk a lot about stats this week because, as you remember, we're not focused on stats this month. We're focused on strategy and doing the activities that we need to do to build that base. But I will say I looked at the blog views about a half hour before I started, and I was only at 51 views for the month, which I'm okay with because all we've done is shared our blog posts through social media as we always do. And Workout Wednesday is getting some love. Not a lot, but some. So I'm excited about that, happy about that, and I can live with 51 blog views for the month because, again, we've shifted our focus a little bit. Oh my God, excuse me. All right, so no stats screen, but we did learn some things this week. So here's what we learned. Life can get in the way of progress. So this week was has been a definite lesson in how life can really ruin best laid plans. On top of me having to go in and have teeth pulled, we've got some things going around the house that we have to have taken care of that has just kind of flipped our house upside down. And it's been a rough week, but I'm really trying not to be discouraged by any ground loss because I did get some progress. I've used some time, where I found it to put some effort forward. I didn't get a lot of voiceover audition done this week, which really it's going to happen, and it's a product of the type of week in the type of couple weeks we've been having here at home. But it's okay because we have put in some effort, and we're just waiting on some of that effort to pay off. Going to need to refocus on a task list to ensure progress. So if you remember back in the earlier days, I had gone back and forth about should I do like a calendar system or a task list, and I finally decided that I wanted to do a task list because it was much more conducive to my productivity style. I have admittedly gotten away from that incredibly, and I'm starting to get that scattered feeling again. Like I come up here and I go, there's so much I could do. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I really think I need to get back to that to make sure, especially if I'm focusing on growth and content, that task list is really going to be very valuable to me again. More realistic goals equals a less stressful experience. It hasn't eliminated the stress of this. I mean, there's still some stress involved, like some anxiety about, am I good enough, or are they going to get back to me? Why haven't they gotten back to me? Can I get this done in time? Can I do this? Is this feasible? That stuff is still there, and that's always going to be there. I don't care what you're doing. You're going to have a little bit of stress and anxiety with it. You wouldn't. I guess the victories wouldn't be so rewarding if there wasn't a little bit of stress. But I can definitely feel that there's a lot less weight on my shoulders right now. Not trying to hit numbers all the time. And I'm only halfway through the month, and I already feel that much better about it. So I feel like we've made, at least from a personal standpoint, we've made the right decision so far. We'll see how well it translates into output or return on investment. But definitely feeling better. Excuse me again. I don't know what my deal is today. Numbers, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. So I hate to say I don't care, but I'm taking this very careless attitude towards the numbers, and I haven't been checking the blog every day. I really haven't, and it's the first time since I've opened the blog that I haven't done that. And you know what? It feels good. Today was the first day that I had checked the numbers in probably 3 or 4 days. I would get on there just to see, hey, is anybody getting in there? And I would go, oh, okay, cool. And then I would just leave it alone. There's no need for me to check it. And I think that's really more just the attitude that we've had. I've also been a lot more focused on the content that I'm trying to create and the auditions, although this week, again, not really a big productivity week for me, but it's been a very good change, and that's really what I'm happiest about. I'm disappointed that I didn't get more done this week, but I'm also not so disappointed about it because I don't feel excuse me. It's all this coffee I drink. I think it just gets me all kinds of dried out and that's a weird sound to make. But anyway, where was I? Oh, so I'm a little disappointed in the progress that I didn't make this week, but I'm also not as disappointed as I think I would be if we were focused on numbers. We've definitely made some progress in some areas that I want to make progress as we move forward through the end of this month. And part of that is content. And I wanted to let you know, and I talked about, reusing some of our old content. I actually, Saturday, and I posted some photos of me because, hey, look at me, I'm working, that kind of thing. You got to do it, I guess. But I was actually editing some of the previous vlog Sundays down into little segments of, our usual weekly commentary. All right, I'm just out of laziness, kind of. I'm calling it Best of Vlog Sunday, and I've got 11 segments out of what we did yesterday, and I've been working on it probably about a week and a half, just pulling a few in. But yesterday I really sat down and got the rest of them done. I got it all rendered out, and I'm gonna start uploading that here soon. Really goes from weeks 2 to week 12. Yeah, so that, believe it or not, there were a few that, at the end of it, I was just talking about new content and things like that, and it really wasn't necessarily valuable at this point, or it might be related to something that I did in a single segment when we were still doing the Thursday thing. But that's exciting. We're gonna have that going. Other content news? Question mark? Not really. I am still working on the lab work project that I really want to get launched, and I'm not actively building a framework for the sock puppet right now. I did pose the question and got no response. But that's probably due to a lack of following right now. But I still am thinking about that in my head. Sock puppet's right over here. I see him every day. It's him because he's got some facial hair. We'll just. Yes, I know that's a traditional view of the male figure, but yes, I'm calling it a male. But I'm still thinking about that and still trying to work out how I want to do it. And as soon as I know, I'm gonna start doing it. I mean, as soon as I know what and when, it's done. But still working on those. So we've got some more content that could possibly launch this month. I'm thinking more maybe November before we get to any of that, but it shouldn't take long to start doing the lab work. So more to come, but we will have some more content going on the blog, really just reusing some of this material here from Sundays. So feel good about that, and that's why I'm not totally disappointed in our, I guess, lack of efforts this week. And again, well, okay, you could blame it on me because had I taken care of my teeth, I wouldn't be in this position. As I drink more coffee. So, what do I want to look at moving forward as far as what I need to learn? Because I think I'm getting good practice in the auditions. I'm getting good practice with the Workout Wednesday stuff. Even though some of those things I'm not like doing over and over again. I'm doing a lot of reading, a lot of self-assessing as I'm reading that. And I'm starting to do a little bit more reading outside of that, more as a learning tool. And I really want to start getting more into technique and technical aspects of voiceover. When I say technique and technical, I mean technique as far as mic placements, area setup, and enunciation, things like that, breathing. There's a lot that goes into it that you probably don't realize. Then if you talk about technical, I want to learn more and brush up on mixing and mastering the audio. I feel like I've got a decent sound in my setup right now, but I'm not sure it's where I want it to be, or that I'm totally using everything correctly. I was listening to an audition I did, I think it was over the weekend or early this week, and I was listening back and I was just hearing these little things, or maybe like the equalization of the file. It wasn't right. It was off. There were parts that maybe it sounded like there was an echo that wasn't actually there. Because the wrong frequency is put in the wrong place, and that's the kind of things I need to brush up on and then expand my knowledge on, in order to make sure that I'm producing the best product available. And I was reading an article the other day where I was learning about mic placement, and I just bumped the microphone. As far as mouth noises go, because I have a lot of mouth noise. Part of that is my own personal habits and my lack of water that I drink. Coffee was specifically pointed out. So there's like little pops and clicks and things like that you'll hear that aren't like the microphone, but it's like bubbles and things sticking and going apart if your mouth is too dry. And those are bad. Usually when you look at an audition, that's one of the things, keep mouth noise to a minimum. And we were talking about pop filter when I auditioned for Voice Bunny. That can help, but that's more, trying to keep that burst of air from going. It doesn't really eliminate sound. But depending on your mic placement and how you enunciate and how you project, that's what you want to do. Like, I'm sitting back and I'm actually probably at least a foot away. And they want you about 7 to 8 inches and projecting. So that way the voice sound is much louder going in. You're projecting your voice, and those mouth noises that you can have are much quieter in comparison. So, and I'm going to stop that because I feel like I'm yelling. But when you go to compress and put your noise gate or set your noise floor, there's a much bigger range between your actual speech and those noises, and you can easily eliminate those without going in and silencing those little things, because sometimes you have to go do that. Excuse me. In order to eliminate them, and the more you can do on the input side, the better off. There's a saying, garbage in, garbage out. So you want to make sure arguably no matter what I'm doing, it's garbage. But if you can make that garbage as shiny as possible, there's less you've got to do on the back end. So that could definitely help us, absolutely help us in the time that it takes for us to turn something around. So that's really an area that I want to look at. I need to get better with the mastering of the audio, getting better with using compression, getting better with using noise gates, noise floor settings, limiters, things like that. So that way I can, better process the audio so it doesn't come out sounding super processed. Equalization has always been a weaker point for me as well. I feel like I can get a decent sound, but I want to read some more and learn some more about that. So that way, so that way I can be better at that and get some better presets set up. Because my surroundings for the voiceover doesn't change. I do it all right here. So once I've got that locked in, I may have to do a few tweaks. If I'm doing something really quiet like this, I might need to do something else. Or if I'm doing, I think you get the picture. But that's what we're going to be looking at moving forward as far as voiceover goes. Going to try to make some time here in the next week or two to do some t-shirt designs as well. And I think that might also be a good time for me to start recording some content for the lab work. And then I'm going to be mixing some new promo videos. And that might also be a good chance to get some material for that as well. So I've got a lot of things working and a lot of things that are going to be stepping stones into those next strategy and content goals that I have. So I feel good. I feel good about where we are. And even though our numbers are definitely going to suffer this month, as far as the blog goes, we're focusing on the right things. I really, really, really believe that. Just got to work some social media work in there, and I feel like I'm doing a little bit better there this month so far. But we'll see how it goes, and then whatever momentum we have this month, we can ride that into November. I'm feeling good. There's no other way to say it. But in record time, that's all we've got for you on this Vlog Sunday. As always, make sure you're following us on social media. Always follow us: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, which isn't really social media, but follow us, pin our stuff. And then, of course, on Mix, be the first one. I would enjoy that. Immensely. 625 Media. Also, of course, keep checking on the blog, because we're going to have some more content coming up. Some things that you may not have seen because you didn't want to sit through 30 minutes of me talking. Hey. All right. I've got quite a day ahead of me and quite next couple days ahead of me, so I better get to work. I'm Josh from the Attic 625 Media. I will see you later.